Hey everybody, welcome to the Spooky Pizza Gift Shop. My name is Ken. I want to talk about this zine that I used to do ages ago. In fact, May 2002. So, at one point there were four issues. Okay, let's just get this straight. I called it Naked Biped. I wanted to call it Naked Ape, but David Attenborough beat me to the punch. So Naked Biped it is, because we are pretty much hairless apes and we walk on two legs, unless we're really inebriated. So I made these using InDesign when I had a little Mac Mini, and it was a weird point in my life. It was 2002. It was right after 9/11. It was a difficult time in my life, so I thought, well, what's the best way to deal with that? Obviously, start a literary journal, and that's kind of what I was hoping this would be. So I do have. This is wait a minute, issue number 1. I have notes. I have an introduction of sorts. Bread 101. Bread 101 is an essay I wrote about teaching, and I sent it around to a lot of places. Tried to get it published. Finally, somebody said, we're making an anthology about creative endeavors. We would love to include this. I said yes. They sent me a bunch of paperwork to sign. I signed it. They couldn't get funding. They never got published. So this is the only place you'll ever see it. I also talked about horror films. Oh, horror films. Which films did I review? I don't know if it matters. They're all old. So the first one was The Haunting, which was based. This was a terrible movie. But I spent a lot of time talking about The Haunting of Hill House. This was a good movie, I believe. Event Horizon, it's okay. Rosemary's Baby, which is great. That's it. Anyway, Hitchhiker Revisited. I tried to include humor about why did the chicken cross the road. And according to Mark Twain, are we there? Mark Twain. There we are. The news of his crossing has been greatly exaggerated. And then in the back, I included a section called Out of Context, where I just included quotes from other people because I was very impressed by the Sun. So that was issue number 1. This is issue number 2. I included a column called This Life, where I talk about myself, because why the hell not? Critical analysis, coming of age films, because I do love movies and I love talking about them. Career Chronicle, which is again about myself. Books for writers, books 2001, books I read back in 2001. Items received, humor and horror. I don't even remember what that is. Humor and horror, 22. It's just an essay I wrote about humor and horror. I also started to include classified ads, and these were not things that people actually paid for. As I actually point out, you can't buy space here. The companies listed here are those the editor, i.e. me, feels are doing a service to humanity. If you have something you think would fit here, send a catalog or a sample, and I'll take a look. Oh my God, what a simpler time things were. And again, out of context. So issue number 1 came out in October 2001. I charged $3 for this. And this is printed on legal size paper because I figured I could fold it in half. And if you look at the back cover, yeah, it folds in half. Unfold here. I included handy instructions because I thought people were stupid. As it turns out, I was correct about this. This is an old address that no longer exists, but yeah. Anyway, so I could throw a couple of stamps on here and pretend it's a business size envelope and call it good. This illustration I made myself. This illustration I made myself. Here's number 3 that came out in May 2002. So we have October 2001, January 2002, so 4 months. May 2002, so 4 months. Poetry. Actually, I seriously wanted this to be a kind of literary journal because I included submission guidelines and subscription information. I had poetry by William C. Burns Jr., who I had the great joy of corresponding with, and have completely lost track of him, but not bad poems. Anyway, books to film, critical analysis, employment follies, because again, Republicans were in charge of the economy and they completely screw that shit up all the time. Some poems of my own, which actually I'm not a great poet, but I think these were the best things I'd written so far. items received, because I did receive some zines from other people. The 10-Page News, which I've no longer heard about, and Indie Unleashed by editor Indiana Jones. God, I love that. And then I made more extensive classified ads. I had some display ads. The Rockhurst Review actually published my fiction story. This is a real literary journal, by the way, and they published my story. So I should talk about that later. Out of context. October 2002. This is the last version of Naked Biped. You may notice this is printed on letter size paper because I was out of legal size paper, and I couldn't afford to buy another ream. This picture of a jester I scribbled somewhere. I got it somewhere from some kind of clip art kind of book. Fiction from Rory Emmerich. It's not a bad story. It's just not great. Also, I may have written that under a pseudonym. I may not have. Poetry, O Me, O Life. This is all out of order. Poetry. I started breaking down the contents by category. So there's poetry, Oh Me, My Life, because why not? If you're going to crib from somebody, crib from Walt Whitman. Nonfiction, Employee Follies 2. Commentary, video reviews, Loverboy by Victoria Riddell, which was actually a pretty good book. Made into an okay movie. Miscellany. This was the last episode. This was the last issue ever that I published of this because I ran out of money, I ran out of time, I ran out of energy. I still have what I call office copies because whenever I make a zine, I print out one copy just to keep in the office. I made these, like I said, on a Mac Mini. The InDesign files are still there, but they're corrupted. So I cannot convert these to a PDF. What I have done instead is to scan every single one of these as a PDF from sometimes not a really great laser print. And so what I'm going to do is put these on my Etsy account. You can buy 1 or 2 or 3 or all 4. They'll download as a PDF. And it's basically, this was significant to me. It was a significant chunk of work and effort, and I figured, well, I don't want to lose this. I just want to put it out there. So I'm also going to put this up on, not just on Etsy, but on Gumroad as well, because Gumroad is really good for selling PDFs, although I have made like $0 from it. So, but anyway, yeah, this was a thing I did ages ago. I still think a lot of it's pretty good. Do I cringe? Am I embarrassed when I read some of it? Oh yeah, you bet. But some of it I'm good with, and I'm pretty proud that I put it together. So, also I made drawings. Look at that. I have no idea what that is, but anyway. So, I still make weird little drawings like this every once in a while. So there we go. I will include the address in the description for both Etsy and Gumroad if you are interested in buying these. And if you're not, I appreciate you just watching this video to this point. So this is Ken at the Spooky Pizza Gift Shop. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Spooky Pizza Gift Shop for another episode of Zinespotting. Please feel free to like or subscribe. Please note down in the show notes, there is an address. If you would like me to review your zine, whether it's a physical or a digital zine, please go ahead and send it to me. I will get that reviewed and get that posted here. If you have a question or a comment, please feel free to drop a note. I do love to read everything, and I do eventually respond, generally on the weekends because I'm pretty busy during the week. Until next time, have a great day, have a great week, and be careful out there.